I was brought in the entire area of learning and knowledge management to shake up things, and that's what I do. I try to shake up things and not to worry so much about history and about what people think, and still ask stupid questions more than once a day, and to try to move things forward and deliver, and hopefully deliver a lot of good things in the process to help move things forward. I'm in charge of learning at Philips Lighting University, focusing on lighting. Things that don't necessarily work well is the entire area of knowledge distribution. On a general maturity level, we're kind of a reasonably scattered and defragmented processes that we use of distributing product knowledge and any other knowledge across the company. And that has to be done in a much better way. And it's across groups, across business units, across regions, that you have to untangle a couple of things and then try to move things in a better way. I see myself as a catalyst, as somebody who's trying to make it happen, and when it's happened, I'm on to something else. I like projects. I like greenfield operations where things have to be indeed shaken up or changed, and then I move on again. My biggest success is that I leave something and it continues. That I'm able to discount myself out of the equation, but that this machine still keeps on running. And all the projects so far, touch wood, have been able to do that. I start very, very heavy, but after a while I try to manage an organization as my role is to support everybody around me and not the other way around. That's probably something that I learned at Nokia. In the organization chart at Nokia, the manager is underneath the organization, the organigram, while in most companies the manager is on top. And suddenly you create a completely different feeling of paradigm. In a Nokia type of environment, the manager is there to support people. Flexible and caring parents were an important part. Like when I was 15, I hitchhiked to Greece, and there's not many parents, and maybe nowadays even less parents would want to do that. But they gave me the benefit of the doubt, and they said that year was with 3 friends. The year afterwards was alone. Just they let me do it, and they let me explore my own horizons. I guess that created a little bit of the base, and then when I came back, I knew pretty much what I wanted to do. I did Chinese, I did economics, and I started doing things. I studied Chinese because it was the weirdest thing to do. I think what helped me with my career was also caring people. When I was studying in Paris, there was this manager who believed in me and sent me to Hong Kong. And tried to get me into his bank, ING Bank, but it didn't work out. So he still stuck out his neck, and he helped me to find another company in Hong Kong to work with. They sent me to China, and I was thrown into a typical Chinese environment as a young kid with a lot of options to do a lot of things you want to do, because there was not this big corporate environment to rely on. This is typical in China. I was helping the company strategy, but at the same time selecting the colors of the chairs and those type of things that you're involved with, and that helped me. And I spent 13 years in China. Then I went to Finland after a couple of years in Nokia China, where a manager is basically a person who is a team member who's taking care of the administrative shit. So very much somebody under the organization supporting the people with the things that nobody wants to take care of. And from there on, it was clear that I was somebody to set up things. I had set up already the business school in Shanghai, and then in the learning center in Greater China. And I liked setting up things. And then that theme came across, and that's what we've been doing since then. One example would be externally, when in China. When I set up the business school, or the executive education arm of the business school, there was no market for executive education in China. and your closest competitors would be either on the service side, the McKinseys of this world, or or all kind of training companies, international and local. My price was normally 4 times more expensive than any other player trying to get into the same deals, and I ended up to be the biggest player. Still, people wanted to buy our services and to get things, and it was kind of interesting in a Chinese environment where services were typically given for free. I think that was the beginning of changing, and now you see the proliferation of business schools. Executive education is wild. CIBS is still the leader in China, and I was very happy that I think 1 or 2 years after I left, it was named as the Asia's best business school in executive education. So that was a good. Still, I try to. Still proud of it, even if I left the organization. Somehow I must have laid some foundation on top of which other people did better things than when I left. Work very hard, be very close to your customers. I was spending, I guess, 80% of my time outside, and I was asking my people to do the same. The more you talk to customers, the more you trust them. And even if they don't want to buy things from you, still give them all kind of things and share things with them and be open with them. And the good thing also, as a business school, we did quite a bit of research on HR issues and on training, but also on marketing. And I would freely share this stuff with people. So the next time they thought of something in up my alley, they trusted me and they wanted to give me that business. I also did advertisements on CNN. I did, and that was unheard of in the education business in Asia. So kind of CIBS is happy to be associated with this product, those type of things. And then suddenly, when people brushing their teeth, they see your name, suddenly boom. So I was trying to bend, being creative in how I could reach my customer base. Maybe some example here in Philips, since we started. What something really stupid. I came in with Philips, and I was expecting some kind of an induction program, and there were things to help me, but there was nothing formal and nothing structured. So we created with a colleague a new hire program, a new hire induction program, completely virtual, completely online, no logons and things like that. And we launched this only February of this year, and already now we have, I think, over 12,000 hits of people taking it. So it's suddenly using a completely different approach. Philips is a brilliant company, but it's still getting to grips with everything around the digital world and using internet to its full potential. Maybe what happened in my last company is the entire area of digitalization of product knowledge and product trading. That we made sure that in my last company at AGFA that for every launched product there was e-learning attached. Because before that, you had this one trainer traveling around the world trying to tell people about this great product, and by the time he got to country 16, he could restart because there's new people around and things like that. So we digitized this entire framework into very short clips, very YouTube-like, 2 minutes to learn everything you want to know about this product. At the time, at the level of salespeople, and that of course created a lot of feedback where also we were showing this to customers, and we got feedback that we're actually selling much more through that, because so the salespeople suddenly understood about all the products, and reaching out to customers to not only teach them but also get into a conversation with them on how to do things better and how to learn from all the good things we're doing in LED and controls and different technologies that could be relevant for all these different customer groups that we're interfacing with. Maybe that's think big, set your goals and stick to them. Be creative of getting towards. Maybe that's related to your previous book. Be creative in getting to your goals, even if your management doesn't really directly believe in it. Stick out your neck. Do whatever you think is the right thing to do. Be so good at what you're doing that it doesn't matter whether they fire you, yes or no. That you're next. That if things go wrong, then other companies or other projects will pick up where the people have left off. What is very important is to package things in an absolute superior way. I learned that, I think, from reading a book of was it Lee Iacocca or some of the GE, that he was absolutely superior in internal product proposals, and just packaging it in such a nice way in the language of whoever's going to listen. If you're presenting it to finance people, have more financial stuff. If you engineer, more graphics, I think, or more graphs. I think that's very important to go absolutely out of your way to make a compelling case and to convince them. If they still say no, just do it. And start slow, start small. Not start slow, but start small with little money. Pilot it, improve, and then go again to your management. If they don't appreciate that you're so passionate about these things, then either you're in the wrong position or something is wrong. But if somebody comes to me and is so passionate about things, I always try to give it my best ears and my best benefit of the doubt. Companies are still living in the 1980s. The Taylorist way of managing, and there you are. You have indeed a manager on top of the organization, and that's still governing a lot of management thinking in today. And we've been talking about knowledge workers and with all the trendy words that come with it. But at management level, still few companies have found a way of managing that. And I think the Nokia example of having the manager on below what the organization is a very good start. There needs to be much more caring, the concept of emotion, the concept of giving people freedom has to change in management thinking. Empower people, let people fail. Even give people bonuses if they fail. Type of environment should be embraced, where managers should be there. I like the Finnish model. Managers should be there to take over the mess of that nobody else wants to do, and they should be there to support the people. If your people succeed, you will succeed.